When I was a boy, each week on Sunday we would go to church and pay attention to the priest. He would read the holy word and consecrate the holy bread, and everyone would kneel and bow. Today the only difference is everything is holy now. Everything is holy now. And when I was in Sunday school, we would learn about the time Moses split the sea in two, and Jesus made the water wine. And I remember feeling sad, miracles don't happen still. But now I can't keep track, 'cause everything's a miracle. Everything's a miracle. Wine from water is not so small, but an even better magic trick is that anything is here at all. So the challenging thing becomes not to look for miracles, but finding where there isn't one. When holy water was rare at best, it barely wet my fingertips. But now I have to hold my breath like I'm swimming in a sea of it. It used to be a world half there, heaven's second-rate hand-me-down. But I walk it with a reverent air, 'cause everything is holy now. Child's face, say it's not a testament. That'd be very hard to say. See another new morning come, say it's not a sacrament. I tell you that it can't be done. This morning outside I stood, I saw a little red-winged bird shining like a burning bush and singing like a scripture verse. It made me want to bow my head. I remember when church let out, how things have changed since then. Everything is holy now. Used to be a world half there, heaven's second-rate hand-me-down. But I walk it with a reverent air, 'cause everything is holy now.
We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now. It is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive in this great turning. We shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning, we shall learn to lead in love. We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now. It is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive in this great turning. We shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning, we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning, we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning, we shall learn to lead in love.
Good morning. Welcome to All Souls Unitarian Universalist Church. We're very glad that you've chosen to spend your Sunday morning with us. Whatever your age, race, orientation, identity, background, political affiliation, all of the things that make up who you are, if you care to worship with us and to share the values and principles that we uphold, you are welcome, and we thank you for being here. Today is our big statewide Pledge to Vote push. How many of you have already taken the Pledge to Vote? That's so cool, wonderful, thank you. It's very easy. It's a voter mobilization strategy. Nobody's going to do anything spooky with your information, I promise. You go to the website, pledgetovote.la. You can either scan, there are cards like this out front, and you can either scan the QR code or just, again, go to pledgetovote.la. You'll enter your name and your zip code, and then your name should pop up from the voter rolls. And sometimes you may have to scroll down a little bit to see your name. I've heard people say, well, I didn't see my name. But you may have to scroll down, but you'll find your name, and then when you find it, you'll click, you'll make sure that it's you, because sometimes there might be more people with your name, and so you want to make sure that it's you, your address, your age, whatever. And then click Start Pledge. Take the pledge, fill it all out. Please Whether you are a member or not, if you are not part of another Interfaith or Together Louisiana institution, we are more than happy to claim you as All Souls Unitarian Universalist Church. There is a pull-down menu, select that, and claim All Souls. We would love that, and fill out the rest of the information. It'll ask you your voting plan, whether you're voting early, and if you're thinking, but I already voted, that's great. There's an option for that too. We appreciate it. There is, in addition to the fact that this builds a statewide coalition of voters, people who pay attention, and who ideally we can, when necessary, hold our elected leaders accountable, which is pretty much necessary all the time. It gives some credibility to us when we go to our elected leaders with our issues. And the other thing is a much more lighthearted reason that there's kind of a friendly competition going on statewide. Now, I know we can't match sheer numbers, but I think if we encourage our friends and relatives and everybody to take the pledge and then to follow through and vote, that we could possibly be in the running for the percentage of our goal met. Now, some people are at like 150% of their goals, so our goal is 50 people. So we have some work to do, but last I checked, we're at 42% of our goal, and I think we've added a few people since then, so there'll be another update tomorrow. Anyway, I think Rebecca Tuggle is our board person of the day, and she has just some brief announcements.
Good morning, everyone. Happy to see y'all here. Happy to have you joining us at home. This month, our volunteer of the month, who is actually in the foyer right now, is Bennett Upton. So let's give him a round of applause. Yep, there he is, waving from the back. Bennett has been a former board president. He works on the tech team. He pretty much works tirelessly for this community and specifically this church. And so we like to honor one person a month that volunteers and helps out the church in the best way possible. And that could be Bennett almost all year. So again, let's give him a round of applause as volunteer of the month. Our giveaway the plate recipient this month is Students for Justice in Palestine, specifically the LSU Shreveport chapter. They are working to raise awareness of what is going on over in Gaza and the Israeli-Gaza war. And of course, they are trying to address that, trying to make people aware of it. And so any funds that you donate, which the basket is at the back or the front, depending on your perspective of the sanctuary, anything that is not March Pledge will go to our Giveaway the Plate recipient. And this month it is Students for Justice in Palestine, LSUS chapter. So please be generous. The other thing, of course, my other hat, as Susan mentioned, I am treasurer for the board here at All Souls, and it is pledge time. It is time to get pledges for 2025. We are putting a time limit on the pledges this year to get your pledge in by November the 30th because we do have to do the budget, and that gives us something to work with as far as what we can plan for to be able to use in 2025. We do have physical, actual, hard copy forms that are in the foyer if you would like to use one of those, but I will be starting the pledge drive. Generally, we do this as an email out to people, and I will also send those of you who have given a pledge in 2024, I will be giving you kind of a balance sheet on if you do have anything outstanding, that kind of thing. So again, it's pledge time. If you can't pledge, that's okay. Give a one-time donation. Anything that you can give, we can definitely use, and we would definitely appreciate it to keep this community going. So thank you very much.
Thank you. I just wanted to add, I wanted to thank everybody who came, and especially those who helped with the service yesterday for Roberta Middleton. And along those lines, there is a lot of food here, and so we're really encouraging you to stay after church, have some snacks, And it's also a good time if you do have questions about Pledge to Vote, or you want us to help you do the Pledge to Vote, we can also, we're happy to take care of that. So thank you. And if you didn't get a clipboard with markers and some cards, they're for everybody. They're not just for kids anymore. And it's going to be part of our service today. So if you don't have one, we'll make sure that you get one when that time comes. If you'll join with me in singing Gathered Here, the words will be on the screen. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power, Spirit, draw near. From our Unitarian Universalist shared values adopted this past summer at our General Assembly, interdependence. We honor the interdependent web of all existence with reverence for the great web of life, and with humility we honor our place. We acknowledge our place in it. We covenant to protect Earth and all beings from exploitation. We will create and nurture sustainable relationships of care and respect, mutuality, and justice. We will work to repair harm and damaged relationships. These values do not replace our beloved 8 principles so much as they wrap around and include and expand on them, placing for the first time in this part of our covenant document the word love at the center. And that's where I want to focus our service this morning. Our connections to each other in the interdependent web of all existence, calling us, of course, to work for justice and dismantle systems of oppression, because none are free until all are free. That is so important. And sometimes we need to take time to focus on the connections closest to us, to offer comfort in times of loss, nurture and respite from all that is exhausting us, help with the most ordinary tasks at hand, and a loving reminder that we need not buy into the illusion of separateness. And all of this with love at the center. I hope that today this is our gift to you and our gift to each other. And now, can I have some help with the first chalice lighting, please? There's lots of help coming, Jackson, no worries. We light this chalice to celebrate Unitarian Universalism. This is the church of the open mind. This is the church of the helping hands. This is the church of the loving heart. Together, with mind, hands, and heart, we care for the earth and for each other. Thank you. Thank you, Phoebe. In the second chalice lighting this morning are the words of a friend of mine, Teresa Honey Youngblood. And I hear music. In order to travel the great way together, we have to cultivate a sense of belonging that isn't conditional upon conformity. I don't want a smoothed out, disproportionately aggrandized faith that attempts to draw all comers to its one self-righteous place at the top of the map of humanity, leaving the messiness of other upbringings and lived realities behind them. Instead, I want an imaginative and wandering faith of holy cartographers, eager encounterers who pay exquisite attention to the terrain and the systemic forces that shape it. Leaders who meet people where they are, approach them with curiosity, hold lightly to their own individual stories, and are willing to be surprised and delighted and moved by what they discover in the treasure trove of another. This cannot happen with assimilation. It has to be transformation. We all have to be aiming for transformation and to be willing to be guided not by positions and placeholders, but by principles held in covenant, and to which anyone of loving intention can guide us back. The old top-heavy map simply cannot get us there. Could we teach one another how to do this? Could we make the foundation of our faith development learning how to inhabit an open and curious presence by rooting firmly in our own mutual belovedness as it is so beautifully articulated in the universalist side of our heritage? I want us to heal one another through our fiercely compassionate presence so that we can chart a different path as a matter of lived theology, so that we can caringly release the old one-directional paths that aren't broad enough for all of us to accompany one another. I think this degree of spiritual security and resilience could be what gets us there, what frees our souls to encounter the sacred terrain of one another's experiences. What we discover and share could be our new map, more complete and truer than the one we were handed and that we didn't know we could leave behind. This could be how we grow our new way together. Will you rise in body or spirit and say with me the unison affirmation? Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve human need, to the end that all souls shall grow into harmony with the sacred. Thus do we covenant with each other. The song we're singing is We've Got the Whole World in Our Hands, and we have some verses that are a little different today, and Bob's going to help us out. Are we a cappella today? It's all right. So we have to sing and clap and accompany ourselves. We can do that, right? So the words will be on the screen. We've got the
whole world in our hands. We've got the whole world in our hands. We've got the whole world in our hands. We've got the whole world in our hands.
We've got you and me and everybody
in our hands. We've got you and me and everybody. In our hands, we've got you and me and everybody. In our hands, we've got the whole world in our hands. We've got the strands of the web. In our hands, we've got the strands of the web. In our hands, we've got the strands of the web. In our hands, we've got the whole world in our hands. 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 We've got the whole world in our hands.
I'll ask our readers to come forward now. That would be you, yes. Ava, I've got one for you. And we're going to move a little closer to this mic. You don't have to get right up on it, but just be in a little circle around this mic. And we're going to all use our good loud preacher voices, right? We don't have Pam and Natalie, so who wants to grab Pam? I can, Pam's part, Pam,
Yeah, I can.
you want to?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, and who wants to grab Natalie's part? I can do that. All right. The invisible web, the very best news ever, has begun to spread all over the world, one heart at a time. Shout it from the mountaintops. Every single one of us is connected to those we love by invisible strings.
This means Giovanna and her daddy are always together, even though he moved to a new house. Omar can feel the tugs of love from his parents, even though he is living far away at school. Mr. Cheng can still feel Miss Cheng's close by, even though she died such a very long time ago.
And you, at this very moment, may feel the string of someone close to you, even though they aren't there. You can't see it, but it's real.
Our strings reach to everyone we know. They travel far and wide to families and friends, classmates and coaches, to bus drivers and babysitters, neighbors and pets, to aunts and uncles and grandparents and grandchildren and countless other people. And all of these people have hundreds of strings.
Soaring high over rocky peaks and across the seven seas, deep into jungles and valleys, all winding through the busiest of cities. All of these strings crisscross one another and create a nest that covers the planet, interlacing us together, cradling us forever.
The web has no borders and wraps every continent. Within it live butterflies and flowers, starfish and seahorses, lions and ants, rivers and snowstorms, and all human beings. Giovanna, Omar, Mr. Chang, and of course you and me too. And I just realized we need Noah and Kevin. You are Noah.
I am Noah.
Yes. You play that part really well, so we thought we'd let you be Noah.
Thanks.
Okay.
Some say it even reaches to our ancestors and those we cherish in the beyond. One tug on a string sends love to every one of us woven together in this divine tapestry. And that means just one good deed travels across the entire web. Everything is linked.
But sometimes folks forget. When they can't feel their strings, they forget about our invisible web, and that's when strings get tangled up. Like when Louisa isn't invited to sit with anyone at her school at lunchtime.
Or when sad Stefano wishes his friend Marcos wasn't so bossy when they played. Or when Miss Mattel struggles at work without help and she just wants to quit.
Even violence and war can erupt when too many of us forget the web. When strings are ignored, they can become weak and begin to unravel. But the more people who care for the web, the stronger it remains.
The web feels like every parent since the beginning of time, holding and protecting each one of us in a million of gentle arms. What can be stronger than all of those hands holding us close? So many supportive fingers can always find a way to untangle strings so that love can flow again. But it is up to every one of us to spread the word. Our time is right now.
As we tell our family and friends, sisters will remind brothers, who will write to cousins, who will call their great-grandparents, who will just nod and smile as if they have always known. If we remember the web and tug at it often, nobody will ever be left out. We will see others more clearly, that people of the world will look into each other's eyes. They will smile at one another, and when one of them cries, they will all want to help.
And they do. Marcos apologizes to Stefano, who forgives his friend, and they have even more fun playing. Someone helps Miss Patel at work and tells her what a great job she's doing. She remembers that she's important and feels happy. Elizabeth and Louise.
This is Elizabeth.
And Louisa feels warm and bubbly inside when a few of the kids in class ask her to join them under the banyan tree for lunch. She knows right then that the invisible web is real.
After school, Louisa cries with joy as she strokes her cat, who purrs the news to the stars, and the stars whisper the secret to the clouds, who share it with the songbirds.
Who serenade the world with this exquisite melody of love at the start of each morning and all during the day, until as the invisible web glitters in the magic of twilight, the owls take over and hoot the news through the night.
The invisible web is alive. Its time is right now. It breathes as we breathe, pulsating all over our earth, the single heartbeat of life and love. And do you know what that makes us all?
One very big family. And a note from the author, P.S. I just love being right here in the middle of the invisible web with you. From Patrice Karst, and dedicated to the real World Wide Web. Thank you so much to our readers, Jackson, Ava, Elizabeth, Phoebe, Noah, and Kevin. Thanks. I'd like you to keep the story in mind as we go to the next part. Did everyone get a clipboard and some markers? Anybody needing? This is for everybody, not just kids. And even if you are not a person who likes to doodle in church, just humor us with this. And I have ordered some really nice cloth bags so that we won't be using the Ziplocs forever. I mean, we'll use the Ziplocs for something else so they don't just go to waste. But there is a spiritual practice called praying in color that was originally introduced in a book by a woman named Sybil Macbeth. One of these days, I swear I will read Sybil's book. And the Praying in Color website offers several ways to do this practice that look very promising, but this is not where I learned it. I learned it from a dear friend, a Unitarian Universalist minister named Scotty McIntyre Johnson, yet another soul who left this planet way too soon in 2017. I first met Scotty when she was the lay leader of the UU Fellowship in Denison, Texas, and dean of the Dwight Brown Leadership Experience, which I attended way back in 2001. After that time, we would see each other at various UU events, most often at SWUSI, the Southwest UU Summer Institute, and we became Facebook friends and stayed in touch that way. She would go on to attend Perkins Theological School and fulfill her lifelong dream of becoming a UU minister. She was serving the Unitarian Universalist congregation of San Marcos, Texas, at the time of her death. She and her husband, Jim, had moved there to be closer to their grandchildren, so 2 dreams fulfilled for Scotty. I first learned about praying in color when I took Scotty's workshop at SWUSI, and I have always been a doodler. So this has been a really helpful spiritual practice for me to learn. But even if you're not a doodler, it might be helpful for you too. So this is how it works. If you want to take out the clipboard and markers and Just pick a marker that's a color that you like to start with, and I'll kind of talk you through it. First of all, what or who is on your mind and heart? Whether it's someone who's passed away, or perhaps someone who is ill or going through a hard time in their life, or just someone you love who is on your mind, maybe someone you haven't seen in a while. Write their name in the center of the card. It might also be a situation that is worrying you, maybe something at work or at school, and you want more peace of mind about that. You can write that. This is yours. You don't have to show it to anybody. This is yours. And so all around the name or the situation, the word that you write words and or draw pictures that you associate with them. And the picture on the screen should be the card that I made for Scotty after she passed. But there's no right or wrong way to do this. Do as much or as little as you like. Do it slowly and mindfully, and hold the person in your thoughts as you do. And as I said, this could also be a situation you're happy about or worried about, a new job, a new school, wherever you need to direct some positive, loving energy. Whoever or whatever it is, and wherever you are directing it, whatever your perspective of source or God or the universe or the great beyond or the mystery, the ground of being, the community, whatever it means to you, that thing that envelops you and holds you, the web. Write or draw all around the name with your thoughts, your feelings, what you love, what you miss about whomever or whatever is on your mind. And this is not about whether or not you think you can draw. Yes, you're making art, but it's not about feeling pressured to make great art. It's about taking time to quiet your mind and express what is in your heart. If you only write words that come up for you and you don't draw at all, that's okay. It's about noticing and strengthening and nurturing those strings that we were just talking about in the story. So let's take a little time in silence to try this. And then in a minute or so, we'll play some music. And at that time, you can come forward to light a candle if you wish. You can keep praying in color if you prefer to do that. But now, let's take our markers and enter the silence.
maybe with a lifetime, comes a song that sings you from the inside. Can't be here without one. Gravity and stardust, mirror pairs, the beauty with the horror, making sense somewhere. Over and over we stumble and we fall, thinking we'll be safer with thicker walls. Disappearing armor saves us. Didn't see it coming. One true heart that set me back to humble with her courage in such dark. Over and over I try to make it back to that kind of open, but on my own I can't. Disappearing armor saves me. Children lost beneath a cloud, the monster's voice is still too loud, and I'm just trying to do what's mine to do. Time may be the prism to restore this long division, but I'm back to you, making one of two. Maybe with a lifetime comes a song softening the edges till the walls are gone. Disappearing armor, disappearing armor, disappearing armor.
So what was this like for you, or what is this like for you? Did you find it helpful? Helped you focus on something you need to take care of. That's a really good use for it too. I didn't go into that as much, but yeah, sometimes when everything is crowding in, it really helps to get it down on the page. I mean, that works with journaling too, but this is a way. Sometimes when it feels less focused than journaling, this is a wonderful practice. Yeah, Logan. That's important too, yeah, to put your fears and anxieties on the page where you can kind of examine them. Anybody else? Would you think you might want to make it a part of your regular spiritual practice? Once a week, yeah. Yeah. Or even if you just remember it every once in a while, maybe I should sit down and do that. And if you prayed about someone close to you, you may want to give them the card, or maybe not. Maybe you want to keep it to hold when you're holding that person or that situation in your prayers. And prayer, you know, a lot of times we say that it doesn't matter who or what you pray to, but just that you take that time of stillness and quiet, meditation, contemplation, stillness. Find, if praying in colors sounds not like something you would do, find the word for it that works for you. But I do want you to know that if you want that word, it does belong to you. It's a word that can belong to us. It's up to you how you use it, or if you use it. But I thank you for trying it out today. And we're going to close by singing a song that I played on the recording at the beginning of the service. And it's another one we're going to do a cappella. And I'll ask you, well, if you're not still busy drawing, I'll ask you to rise in body or spirit. I don't want to interrupt your prayers. But it's the song We Shall Be Known. So, and we're going to do the finger snaps too, I think. We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now. It is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now. And what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. Let's do it one more time. Now that you kind of see the little lines, that means you kind of pause. And I got my snaps on the right place now. I was snapping on the beat, which is not what we want. Ready? We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now. It is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. Don't forget to stay and have some food. Don't forget to pledge to vote. May our lives, and vote after that too. May our lives be reflections of the beauty, peace, and joy that is possible in the world. And may the love we find in this place sustain us as we go our separate ways. Amen. Blessed be Ashe.